So here we have a 2022 Isuzu D-Max. Now there's a few different like variations here. The variations are, this is like a lower level badge one, and you can see this looks a bit different. So the high level badges ones around here is like silver, and they sort of come into the glove box here. Again, there's like nothing different about it. The process is pretty much just like the same, and the actual head unit part we're like replacing is this part here. So it doesn't matter what badge you have, it's going to be the same, because like, this is actually going to like unscrew off this like fascia here, which is this bit here is going to obviously pop out, and we're going to put our fascia in it. Now to start this one here, depending on the model you have, they're a bit slow to boot up, which is like annoying. They do have wireless CarPlay, a DAB and like radio. That's about it. There's like no car settings or anything you can change from in here, so there isn't any CAN information or like anything going on. They do have the CarPlay, Apple CarPlay on here, but wireless too. So obviously that's going to exist on like the new unit. And down here you have an auxiliary and a USB working that one there. And then obviously we have our steering wheel controls, and then we have our reverse camera, as you can see there. So that's about all your factory options and what we have going on. On the dash, there isn't anything like linked from here to the head unit, because again, there's no CAN system on these models. Just going to cover what you get in the kit here. So obviously for the D-Max, get your main head unit here. So this is going to screw into the factory fascia. On the back here, she's all fairly straightforward. We call these our auxiliary plugs, FM antenna plug, AM antenna, Wi-Fi, GPS, and our main 20-pin plug, we call that. So that's the head unit. You can get your harness kit. Obviously these are going to plug into your car side plugs. Other one's going to plug into the back of our main 20-pin head unit plug. A reverse camera one is going to be plugging into our like reverse camera feed here. You can see this one here. So that plugs in like so, and that plugs into our reverse camera auxiliary port. So that'll be basically the head unit working. Our pre-outs, these are only used if you're using like an amp, an aftermarket amp, so majority of people don't need these. Auxiliary in, this gives you like a third camera input and like a microphone input if you wanted that coming in from like a caravan camera or trailer camera as well. Again, majority of people don't actually need this, so you can leave that out. A GPS antenna just gets mounted underneath the dash. Wi-Fi antenna can be mounted on top of the unit. Third USB port, so this is good if you're running one of our dash cams or whatever. You can just obviously plug this in if you're not using it and just like chuck it down by the passenger like footwell or something. Just tuck it up underneath the plastic, so you keep it out of the way, but you can still get to it if you need it. Our main 2 USBs and external microphone, so you're probably not going to be using that, but our main 2 USBs you will, and that's that plug on the back there. OBD2 scan tool, plugs into your OBD2 port to run data in, trim removal tools, and a handbook, and like a USB drive for doing updates. In the future, hopefully this kit will also include an like adapter to get the factory DAB antenna working with our DAB unit, and also some extra spare clips, because the clips in them. To get the head unit out, what we want to do is you can put a bit of tape down here, pop your trim tool in here, and pop around, and then you can actually grab your hands and start pulling out this speedo part here. So then get your hands up under here and just pull around, and a few tugs, and you'll see this whole part here will come out. So you can see it's come off here. So just obviously slowly work your hands like around the edge here and pull it out. You can see there's obviously a clip in there, clip there, clip there, clip there. The green clip here, which has actually been left on, so we'll collect that, and then obviously work your way down, and then this whole piece come off like that, and now you can see that's what it looks like. Now what you want to do is you want to get a longer one in here to give you a bit of like leverage, and like just like leverage off the end here, and push that in until you see this little clip here pop out. These are stiff, so that is why we take the side one off, just to allow us to get some good leverage in here to start with, because otherwise we have to like leverage too hard off the dash up here. It is doable, but this is definitely like an easy way, and obviously this like a surround comes off here pretty easily. Now, as these ones are stiff, we do suggest just put a bit of tape on where you're like leveraging off. Any sort of tape's fine, masking tape, double layer it, whatever, just protect yourself there. So basically what you want to do now is come around with your trim tool. You can see it's starting to get a bit loose, and obviously I'll work your way like around. So I'll put a bit of tape here next, I'll do there, then I'll go over here, and then I'll go up the top here. So just like work it like around a couple of times with the trim tool, and then we'll give it a bit of a pull. Now the trick with plastic is plastic equals patience. So I've gone around the whole thing a few times, and you'll hear it, just work it a bit, you'll hear it like pop every now and again. So the longer you spend doing that, if you just go around a couple of times, the more it'll help you out. Then just come around with your hands, and you can see I'm just sort of like tugging. Come around, give it a few tugs. Get your fingers on the side here, hopefully you can see this. I'm just giving it a few tugs, like so. Again, like, take your time, it's going to come out. And that's all out there now. So what we have in the back here is a little screen, and I'll just unplug them and then I'll show you where they are. So obviously at the top here we have the hazard button. So you can see the hazard needs to come out and the two other ones into the screen there, down there. So we'll take out those and then I will show you. So this is all out now. You can hopefully see it down here. So we took out these two plugs, just have got to push that on the top and pull it out, and again push this one on top, pull it out. They are in here and there, and then obviously like the hazard one at the top. Again, push down and pull it out. It's really stuck and you are still pushing down. A little trick is to push it all the way back in, give it a good push in, you probably hit a click again, and then push down and pull it out. Obviously sometimes when you've pulled out this here, like semi-unlatched, and it gets a bit jammed. Now you can see the reason why we tape these is like, one, the dash is soft on them on these new cars, and two, these ones are stiff to get out. So you can see there actually used to be clips, so you can see clip, clips, just showing you this, clips. So when you go to take it out, clip, you understand where you want to put your like trim tool in to give it pop out those clips. Now you can see the majority of them have actually come off like the main fascia down here, and you can see them, they're actually in behind here. So again, try and collect all the ones you can. In future kits, what we'll do is we'll actually include some extra ones of these, because these are crap to start with, and so you can clip the new ones back on to fit in here. So we will do that in the future. So that's the fascia basically off. Now we just want to get this main like head unit off, pretty standard now. 1, 2, 3, 4, pull that out, and then off we go. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, Phillips screwdrivers, and this little thing just pulls out. Then it's fairly standard again, pushing down on the top, pull these plugs out. Again, a good little trick is push them in if they're seeming a bit stuck and not coming out. So back of the unit here, you can see the plugs, there's quite a few plugs there, just to give you an idea. I think we have a DAB antenna, no sorry I lied, the DAB antenna's in here. This might be GPS, main harness, you got a couple of these are camera and trigger, not 100% sure what that one there is, find out, and that's obviously USB retention. So the first thing you want to do is you want to just test that the unit's going to power up all good. So we're going to grab our easy adapter harness and our Vhedia harness. So come in here, these should only plug into where they can plug into. That's going to plug into there, clip in. Green one's going to plug into this little green one, clip in. White one goes into that white one, sorry, I hope you can see that. Antenna into antenna. So we're left over with 4 plugs here that we're not kind of like using. Out of this one here, we will get a retention cable for this. I will be able to keep the factory USB retention. So a retention cable will plug into here, and then you'll plug the other end of that into one of our 2 main USBs coming out. Probably the one that says Android Auto CarPlay on it, and that'll keep that USB port down there working. Now that's all in, we just want to grab this little grey one here with the purple RCAs on it, and this purple cam in one, we just want to plug into here, because this is going to get our... Now we're going to power up the head unit and see what we have going on. Grab the head unit here, main 20 pin one, radio one into radio here, this video one into this bottom one here, like so. Grab your keys. Now the first time it powers up, it's going to take a while to boot up, because that's just the first time. And we just basically want to check that we have sound, a reverse camera and steering wheel controls, because that's about all we had going on in this car. So again, like you see, it takes a few minutes to boot up because it's the first time it's booting up. So I'm touching the steering control and nothing's happening here. So what I've got to do is come into here, scroll to wheel key study, push the volume up, learn volume up, okay, volume down, learn volume down, okay, skip, okay, go back, okay. Obviously mode is mode. Obviously you can teach them short and long clicks, so you can actually open up like a few more. But anyway, just for this example here, we're testing that it all works. Come into our radio here, just do a scan and make sure we're picking up a station.
McAllister, right?
Have sound coming through radio stations. Now we just want to put it in reverse and obviously check that we have a reverse camera coming up, which we do. So those are all the things we just wanted to check we're working. So now we can go and actually put the unit in. So once that's all good and tested, what we want to do next is we want to take this screen, as you can see here, out of the original Facia, and also go through and like check you got some of these clips, because obviously you probably lost some when you popped it off originally. So just go back through and put these back on. They just clip on and pull off. We will include some extras in the kit, so for when you do lose them, you don't have to go too fishing for them too far. So just to get the screen out, you got 4 screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've taken out that one already, so just undo these and the screen will pop out of the fascia. So those 4 Phillips screws are out. You can see the fascia just pulls off. Here's the old fascia. We'll put our screen into here now. Obviously do this on something like soft so you don't scratch the screens, or you can do it on the foam that comes in the head unit. There's our old unit there. So you can see why it doesn't matter what a badge you're doing, because the actual screen fits into the original fascia. So we've got our head unit here. Now obviously it can only go up the wrong way. It can go up, but just obviously make sure that's around the right way, and just slide the original fascia down over our head unit here like this. Now the original screws actually like threaded that come out of the original head unit, so you can't use these ones. Just use this self-tapping ones that come in the kit. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can put 8 screws in there, and that's going to put the head unit into the original fascia there. Also, a quick note here, this second antenna here is a DAB. So what we'll do in future kits is we'll actually include a DAB adapter that goes to like a SMA one, so you can use our DAB box and still use your factory antenna. Like we said before, we'll include the factory USB retention. And when you put it back together, don't forget to put the hazard switch in. So we're all good now. Again, you can't push it back into place, and then you got to put that speedo cover back on that we took out. It just goes back on in reverse the way you put it in. And look, well done. I'll put your new head unit in.